Hey everyone, welcome to Jam with Alice. Tonight we are diving to something that's even more amazing than retinol. And I know about retinol, you look at the skin, okay? So, yes, you heard it right. We're talking about beauty game changer, okay? That could turn back the clock on your, not just on the clock on your skin, but confidence, all right? So we're going beyond beauty. How about that? We're going to go beyond the beauty. And we're going to get right into it right after this short intro. And I'll be right back with my special guest. See you soon.
Chat with Alice, we're here to stay. Entertainment that blows you away. Lively moments, laughter on display. Join the excitement.
Hey there. Welcome to Jam with Alice Talk Show. And I'm your host, Alice. Hey everyone. Okay, as I said, I'm Alice. I'm your host, Alice, and welcome to Jam with Alice. Tonight we're celebrating crowns and confidence and what truly beyond beautiful means. Okay. And I am so excited, all right, because I got one, not two, but three incredible queens from the Beyond Beautiful World Pageant tonight. All right. So I feel like I'm very special. All right. And if y'all need to drop in so y'all can meet these ladies yourself. We're going to have a great topic. Our topic, okay, and we're going to be talking about beauty because we got the queens here. So we're going to be talking about beyond beauties. So we're going to some questions for the ladies and see what they say about it. And then we're going to get to know them and find out how did they feel about this whole pageant. All right. Because I was once in that too. So y'all know every time I get a queen on, I have to bring my little stuff out too. So, hey, they can't be the only ones with a crown. All right. Alice got her crown. What? Yeah, that's me. That's right. Come on. Give me some. All right. So let me get started because I'm going to act silly all night with these ladies. I just know they're going to have me acting up. I am so excited. You all have no idea. I haven't did this in a while, right? And I know I keep saying I'm going to do a show, but I got so many things going on. And we're going to talk about that too, because I done did a play. I'm getting ready to do a play. All right. And I don't know, I'm just a little bit excited. I'm looking at my notes. You know how I get. I get kind of confused sometimes, but I'm going to start bringing the ladies home. So first up, she is wearing the biggest crown, okay? And she's carrying the title that represents the whole entire system of Beyond Beautiful World. Ladies and gentlemen, all right, what are we going to do? I want to bring up Chondra, Wright, Miss Beyond Beautiful World. How you doing?
I am well. How are you, Miss Alice?
There you go. Look at all sexy with the hair to the side. I like that.
Awesome.
Next. It's all about growth and wisdom, okay? And if you see the little theme to this, because we have Miss Emerald, Miss Traci, Quinn. Come on up, Miss Traci, Quinn. And last and not least of all, we're rounding up our royal lineup with proof that peer pressure, because she's the youngest of it all, right? Creates brilliance. Miss Diamond, we got Tiera, I don't know why I want to call her Gray, but it's Miss McGray. Okay. Come on up, young lady. All right, ladies, how are you all doing?
Amazing.
Welcome to Jam with Alice, and I am so happy to have you all here with me tonight. We're talking pageant night, are we not? Real life struggle, sisterhood, right? I just jump in. Don't be afraid. We're not afraid here at all.
Oh, I was muted. I didn't even know I was muted. I was just
Okay.
talking.
Right. We're gonna just jump right on in. Let's talk about our confidence topic. All right. And then we're gonna get to know you ladies. Is that okay?
Sure.
Yes, awesome.
Oh, before I forget, I do want to introduce, we actually have 4 queens. Okay. So the court is not quite full right now. But Sonia Kennedy, she could not be with us tonight, but we also want to give a hand clap to her as well, right? All right. So
Yes.
and this is Sonia Kennedy, and she is Miss Sapphire of Beyond Beautiful World 2026. All right. There we go. All right. So as queens, all right, so we're going to be talking about confidence topic, right? So as queens, you literally are judged in front of people, all right? What does confidence look like for you in real life? Not on stage, but a regular Tuesday when you're not feeling your best. All right, just jump in.
Okay. Well, I can for me, I Traci Quinn, Beyond Beautiful World, Emerald, Chicago. And I'm also CEO of Pink Hats Construction and Development Group. So we do residential and commercial remodeling throughout the city of Chicago. And with this being a male dominated world, I have to walk in confidence and knowing what I'm doing out here. Because as a woman in a male dominated world, we have to outshine, we have to work harder, twice as harder than the average. So with that, every day I have to walk in confidence and knowing that when I step out on my job sites, that I know exactly what I'm doing and how to do it. So with that being said, and being a mother of 4 daughters and a grandmother of 3 granddaughters,
Oh, Lord.
and 2 granddogs.
Oh, Lord.
Just in from nurse to contractor, being confident of who you are and what you know, and not being as ashamed to even say, "Hey, I don't know," nurse certain things. So just being confident in yourself.
All right, Miss Diamond, Miss Beyond Beautiful World. You all
Yeah,
got want to add anything to it?
yeah, absolutely. I'll also just kind of share my experience as the youngest participant in this pageant cohort. I'm also used to being the youngest person on my team. I'm a psychiatric social worker. And, just being in that space, a new space, working in the hospital, doing something new, I do have to just show up, trusting in myself and my abilities, and recognizing that I deserve to be in these spaces that I have been granted. So for me, it just means showing up and, being sure of who I am and what I know.
I concur. Confidence looks like for me, piggyback off of what Tiera said, just showing up. Oftentimes it's acknowledging that I don't know something. And it used to be a space where that embarrassed me or made me feel like I was less than or I couldn't measure up. Today, that looks way different. When I say I don't know something, then I need to get the answer. It's not just that I don't know, but if you ask me, I'll walk away and I'll get it for you. But I walk around with my shoulders back and my head up, because past me knowing the thing, I get in a space. I love God immensely, right? And so when I don't know, I am confident enough to go to the Holy Spirit and say, I need to know. And I'll get direction and I'll be led one way or the other. But before it's all said and done, I'm going to know what I know.
Absolutely. Was there a moment in your life, Chondra, when you realized, okay, it's not just about how I look. It's about how I carry myself. What helped you step up to the kind of confidence you have now?
Well, I have been in a relationship with some women for about over 40 years. And that sisterhood prepared me for this one. My elite sisters, I'm a alum of Lynn Bloom Technical High School, swoop. Tiera, swoop. So it put me in a space where, and I'll be honest, this was a space that I had not considered before, serving at the pageant, right? And so entering it was very difficult because I'm used to serving people. I'm used to being there for other people. this put me in a space where I had to show up for myself. And there were moments that I didn't have it. I didn't. As I mean, that Saturday at the hotel, my god sister showed up, and she had to shake me like, get yourself together, because I was in a space where I wasn't as confident as I felt like I needed to be, because I'm not the person that competes for anything, right? I show up and I'm giving even when I'm serving. I'm giving even when I'm competing, and it put me in a space where I was a little shaken in moments. But her bringing me back to reality. You've been in this thing a long time. You've walked womanhood for a long time. You serve girls. You've done that for a long time. And this is no different than that. This is just another sisterhood. Act like you know what you're doing. And I needed that. Sometimes we need that support. I'm not always the person. I'm there for somebody else, but randomly I need somebody to be there for me. And it helped me realize, you know what? I'm in this thing. I'm in it, and I'm gonna give it 100%. And I realized that that's enough. If I'm doing my best, that's enough.
There you go. Traci, did you want to say something?
I agree. Even with what Chondra said. I've always been that woman, that mother, the provider, the father, the uncle, the brother, the sister, the everything, and, again, having a relationship with God, that's who I run to. That's who I run to. And so when it came to this pageant, I came in at the very late hour. I wasn't there in the beginning when all the other delegates started. Yes, I came in and towards the middle, towards the almost the end. And so I literally had to, up to that very hour, I didn't know what, number one, I didn't know what to expect. Number two, I had not really truly prepared for the pageant. I got into it because of my cousin. When I saw, that was Shatina Mitchell. And when I saw what she, I knew what she was going through, and to see her press forward and still decided to show up and be a participant. And I said, well, who am I? Why should I withhold? If she can give herself, then so can I. And let me put my feelings aside, because it's not about me. It's actually, for me, the pageant, it's not about me. It's about who can I bless? Who can I help? Who can I share my story and uplift, to let them know that no matter what you go through, there's still life on the other side. You can get through. And so with being able to share my testimony and to be able to share with people all around the world, no matter what you go through, stay focused on God and he'll pull you through. So that's what it meant for me.
There we go. Tiera?
Yeah. So for me, my journey with confidence has been a journey. I did talk a little bit about my experience on my road to just kind of finding myself and appreciating and accepting myself. I did have a traumatic experience that really shaped who I am and challenged who I thought I was. And this pageant experience also just kind of helped me solidify all the growth that I have achieved up until this point. It was actually very audacious of me, I will say, to even join this pageant. I have no prior pageant experience, as some of my other pageant experience. But I did feel that this would push me and force me to step up to the plate and really, pursue that growth that I was looking for. And I do think it has really enhanced the confidence that I already had, but I was just kind of too scared to show. So I am really, really proud of that.
Yeah, you know what? And for everybody watching, and if you're just coming in, this is Jam with Alice, and I have the Beyond Beautiful World 2026 winner of the pageant, which is Miss Beyond Beautiful World, Chondra, Wright. I have Tiera Gary. I don't know why I want to call her Gray, but Gary, Miss Diamond, and Miss Emerald, Traci, Quinn. And we are missing one queen, and she's unable to meet with us today. But that is Sonia Kennedy, who is Miss Sapphire Beyond Beautiful World 2026. Do you agree, yes or no, out there in Facebook land and TikTok land and Instagram land, all of YouTube, all the lands? Do you agree, yes or no? Confidence is the new beauty standard. Do you agree? Yeah, I agree. I believe if you're confident, and I have never really been confident until I actually got into this pageant. I am a very introverted person. You may not think so, and I know you're laughing. Okay, go ahead and laugh. You can just do your little laugh in the back, and you try to be queen because y'all got the directors watching. But yeah, I was very introverted. I'm still very introverted, and I have to still work on that sometimes to bring myself out of confidence. It's about the way that I look, what do people think of me, and you can't think that way. You really just need to move on and live your life, because living your life can actually, and showing up for your life can actually help someone else's life. I always believe that. Right? So,
To me, there's nothing more sexier or more attractive than a person who feels confident about themselves. They can, may not be the most attractive person on the outside, but if they get that confidence, honey, that's what makes them look all, amazing. It's that confidence.
Pretty. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the
and sexy for a man. It'd be the most unattractive man, but they smelling good, looking good, swag is off the chain, honey, shoes on point, watch on point, gear on point, car on point, honey. They all of a sudden money on point, all of a sudden, honey, they become real fine all of a sudden. It's that confidence. Again, it's that confidence, because beauty is only skin deep. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Absolutely.
And if you feel like you look good, then baby, you're going to look good. No matter what it is. Absolutely.
That's right. Hey, listen, y'all drop some comments down. If y'all have any questions for the queen, at the end, we'll let you know how to get into this pageant for 2027. Believe me, it's one of the best things that you could do. It did it for me. It did it for these young ladies. And we're going to go into some questions to ask them, the face of the brand, and core questions for all of the winners. How did you do? How did you feel? All right. So let's start with one core question that goes with everyone. Okay. Walk us through the moment your name was called. What was that very first thought that ran through your mind? I know it ran through my mind. I cried like a baby. So what ran through your mind? I did. I did the ugly cry. Go look at the video. So what ran across your mind when your name was called? Let's start with Chondra, since she got the big crown, the large crown.
So, you know what? There's a method to your madness. I that was the most gut-wrenching, nail-biting situation I had experienced. So listening for them, to get to it. And I'm still standing on the stage. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And so I was in a space where I was really believing God, because I don't believe you enter this pageant and not want to win. So the goal was to win. But standing on the stage when they said we're at the final four, my eyes are closed and I'm going, I don't know what that means, but God, let's get to it. And so when they called my name, I was excited. I was a little afraid, because I'm like, okay, this real. This really got started, like right here in this moment. It's go time.
Right.
I was humbled, I was grateful, and I was ready to work. I'm ready to work. Because it's not just about me. Being the face of this Beyond Beautiful World is a big deal. And I didn't take it lightly. I won't take it lightly. I'm walking this thing circumspectly, and I want to promote it as if it was my own thing. You understand? It's a situation where I believed God put me in this space to walk this walk. And the fact that he allowed me to be the face of this brand, I intend to, again, orchestrate it and move in it like it was my own. I'm taking ownership of it. I want to expose other women to it. I want them to understand that this, yes, it's a competition on some level, but more than that, it's about womanhood. It's about supporting someone else. So I was more than ecstatic when they called my name. I was in tears. I was shaking. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. At the same time, I was like, can I take these shoes off now? So I was just extremely thankful and grateful.
Very good. Tiera.
Oh man. Well, for me, I was, the only person in my category, but that did not necessarily mean I was a shoe-in. I did still have to earn all of my points to achieve my crown. But for me in that moment, I'm also very introverted. So the attention was a lot. But I did feel a deep sense of pride. And I don't think it really hit me until I got home that night, exactly what this means and what this is going to mean, for this next year, even for, pretty much the rest of my life. This moment, it really just sealed for me, again, all the work that I put into working on myself, the shadow work that I had to do to even, prepare, all those things just really, it just sunk in once I recognized I am now Miss Beyond Beautiful World Pageant. I really, I'm still in disbelief. Never thought I would be a pageant queen at all. I used to be extremely shy, so this is definitely a big accomplishment, and I'm very proud of myself.
Okay. All right. And we have Traci.
Yes. When my name was called, I guess I was just so excited just to get through up to that part, and I felt like I had already won by showing up. Whether I won or if I lost, because I'm never about competition ever. I'm always about collaboration. So to compete, I just hate that word, competition. It's just not in me. But when I did one, and I think the first part that I won was the Black Pearl pitch. And so to be announced that I was the winner for the Black Pearl pitch, honey, I won at that moment, So then to be crowned Miss Beyond, Beyond Beautiful World Emerald Chicago. First of all, May is my birth month, and so Emerald is my birthstone. So I believe that I was meant to win Miss Emerald Chicago because of the emerald, of course. But just to know that now I am a queen, which I've always called myself anyway. It's still surreal, right?
Okay.
It's still surreal because of now I really have to not only show up for myself, but I have to show up for others at all costs. Now I really have to be mindful of what I post, how I walk, how I talk, how I represent myself at all times. And so with that being said, it's, it was an amazing feeling, still surreal, still, like, wow, like Tiera said, okay, what does this mean for the rest of my year, for the rest of my life, honey?
For the rest of my
Beyond
life.
Beautiful World. But I'm excited, and I'm very grateful to have been a part.
Okay. Chondra, because you are the face of the brand, in what specific ways do you plan to embody the celebration of womanhood this year, beyond appearances and crowns?
So yeah, I think that in order to represent this organization authentically, it has to be something in here, in your heart. It cannot be about this. It can't be about this. It can't be about, oh, I had this interview or I did this. It's what you do off camera. For me, it's how you serve people outside of this space. Like, this is difficult for me. I don't do Facebook. I don't do internet. I don't do all of that stuff. So this is definitely outside of my comfort zone, but I'm committed to it because it's about other people. So my goal is, so currently I mentor girls ages 8 to 18 at Ring of Hope Youth and Family Services. And I've also started my own non-for-profit, Girl Yes. And it's a space where I intend to mentor girls and put them in a position financially where they're already in a space by the time they're 30. Because far too long we've been in a space where we don't necessarily believe in ourselves. And I think when we wait until we get older, like for me, I had amazing parents. You know, I could depend on my mom and my dad to be there, but that's not all these kids' story today. So it's imperative to me to help them have some sustainability now. And it has nothing to do with your household. You can have great parents, but you might have parents that's not so great. What I intend to do is build a confidence in women and girls alike. And I think if we as women could be honest and transparent with the young ladies that we encounter, we'll produce that. They need a safe space where they can grow into their full potential. But I think being honest and integrous with them, not giving them everything that they need, but showing them how to get it is key for me. And the girls that I serve, I've watched how they've grown into different people. I've served them consistently for about this particular group of girls for about 7 years now. And I've watched them grow exponentially, mature, not just mentally and emotionally, but spiritually. They connect the dots and all things work together. And they're learning that if I do this, then this is a consequence. So I intend to bring women together. This platform is giving me that opportunity.
And I think you're going to do great at that. Honestly, I do. And Tiera, earlier I described you strength for Miss Diamond. That means to me strength, resilience, pressure creates brilliance, right? So you're the youngest one here, but tell us during the pageant process that you felt like you were going to crack and what helped you shine instead.
Okay. As I mentioned before, as far as the experience that kind of drove me to, started me on my journey to building my confidence. I think the Phoenix Rising testimony was the portion of the pageant that really challenged me the most, only because I did have to be vulnerable and share sensitive details about this experience that altered my appearance. So just very briefly, I was involved in a car accident when I was 15 years old, and it altered my appearance. I had this scar, and I also had a lot of damage to my teeth. So that experience, really challenged me to get back into therapy. And I will say my therapist was very essential with helping me push forward. There were times where we were inching closer to the pageant, and I would think to myself, I'm really about to tell this story in front of my family, in front of strangers. And I had so much anxiety about that. I almost got to the point where I was like, should I even do this pageant at all? What did I get myself into? But ultimately, I'm very glad that I was able to do that. I felt a big release and a big weight off of my shoulders, just, telling my truth, and also freeing myself of all the shame that I had been holding on to. And I do feel a lot more confident, just being open and, also hopefully giving others the encouragement to, embrace their scars, embrace, the experiences that has been not so great in that moment, but later kind of help push them to be a better person. So, yes, that was pretty much my experience.
All right, so hey Traci. So when you think of emeralds, you want to think of growth and wisdom and healing and new beginnings, right?
Yes.
So emeralds are often associated with growth and renewal. What season of growth are you currently in as a woman?
Definitely wisdom. I've been through a lot, and I had to learn to heal and had to learn to forgive. Forgiveness was key. So now it's about wisdom, about making right decisions, about spiritual discernment now. And God has given me that. And one thing I used to just operate and be on the fly and do me. And now I seek wisdom, and God says and seeking wisdom, get understanding. So with that, I'm in my wisdom phase. I've done a lot. I've been a registered nurse for over 24 years. Now I'm in the construction industry, and now it's about working smarter, not harder.
That's right.
As well as being able to provide advice to younger women, and also young men out here. So with that being said, I'm definitely in my wisdom journey. And one thing I've read about emeralds, they take about 1,000,000 years to form before they are formed. And so in that million in over 1,000,000 years of forming an emerald, and under that pressure, then that's where that brilliance comes in at. So it's taken me 50 years, honey, round the sun, to now. I feel like now this is my season. This is my winning season, and now I feel like I'm walking in my. Now is the time to walk in my purpose. And this year, in my in January, in my vision board, it was time to tell the story. So yeah, this is my season.
Well, we're going to follow that up with what piece of wisdom another woman gave you that you now feel responsible to pass on?
Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added unto you. Um, my my mother has always taught us, it takes a village to raise those that raised us. We own private care homes for seniors in Valparaiso, Indiana, and also just now as a grandmother and as a mother. It does.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a village, to go back and care for the seniors, to care for those who have the wisdom. And all they want to do is pour it back into us if we just stop and listen. So number one, slowing down. Number two is again seeking God first and let Him give you all that, so you can now pass true wisdom on to others.
There you go. Ms. Diamond, as a diamond, how do you plan to help other women recognize their scars and struggles don't diminish them, they refine them?
Well, I plan to continue to do that. I've already kind of set out in my experience as a, licensed clinical social worker and a practicing therapist, just helping women recognize, the beauty in some of the darker moments of their life, as I have recognized in my experience. But, continuing to just being a sister, also passing along this information for them to continue to work and grow through pageantry. Since it was introduced to me, I do plan to continue to introduce that to, younger ladies that I can see that can benefit, in the same ways that I have. But again, continuing to also provide encouragement, when I see that, it's needed.
Okay. Miss Chondra, Miss Beyond Beautiful World. You will meet women from many backgrounds this year, okay? And you'll hear their stories. How will you make sure every woman you encounter feel safe, feel seen and valued?
I think because my personality naturally, I not only again show up for me, but I show up for other women. I want women, and I would encourage them, just causing them to understand that we're more alike than we are different. There's probably nothing that they've ever gone through that I haven't experienced already, such that I have a compassion and I have a grace. And I mean, and I've heard stories positionally. I pastor as well as coach. I serve my community like consistently. I'm a community organizer as well. And so I've had the opportunity to spend a lot of time with women from all different walks of life. We do a lot of outreach. We serve about 400 families on the food pantry side. So there's like not one situation that I haven't heard or experienced, either myself or through someone else. And so I hope that I can instill in them and impact them in a way that they understand that, you know what, there are no big eyes, no little U's. And if God brought you to it, he'll bring you through it. There's a space and a place for all of us. There's a time. And I was just sharing with somebody on yesterday, a gentleman that I met at a restaurant, and he was going, you know what, I don't really do church because, you know, sometimes you in there and then you're doing something else and people don't have any grace for you. And what I realized is that on my journey, just life, this Beyond Beautiful World journey, there are things that I've experienced that I've overcome. But when I overcome them, God allows me to see something else that I didn't see before. So you're constantly working on yourself. And I hope to, when I come across those women, be able to impact them in a way that I don't come off like self-righteous. You know what I mean? I want them to feel comfortable. I want them to know that I am authentically me, good, bad, and ugly. And if you'll sit with me long enough, I'll share those, you know, good, bad, and ugly parts of me, because at the end of the day, nobody's perfect. And again, as long as I do my best, it might not be to your particular standard, but if I done my best, it's enough. And so I'm hoping that when women come up on me, that they feel that authenticity and that I'm able to impact them in a way.
All right. Well, let's go to your platform. So Chondra has already have a passion for her platform, because every time she talks, she's bringing up a platform. Okay. So now we're going to give Diamond and Emerald, which is Tiera and Traci. Tell us about your platform. Tell us about who you're sponsoring and what are you going to be doing this year for your platform. Let's start with Diamond.
Okay.
Yeah, so my platform is associated with the experience that I had. It is expanding the access and the education for oral health care. So in my experience, I did have to undergo a lot of different oral procedures just to correct my smile. And I do recognize that that is a big issue within the community. And although I had to pursue my oral health care for different reasons, I do see that it is very much a very important piece of our health that we do need to pay more attention to. I grew up eating, junk food for breakfast, as most of the kids in my neighborhood did, but, not realizing the impact that it ultimately would have on your teeth. And later on, your health is connected to so many different chronic health issues. It can worsen chronic health issues if not, corrected. But some of these issues can be prevented. So my mission is to make sure that, people in my community, minority communities, they do know that, and they do practice better oral health care, so that they can prevent, a lot of costly procedures. So I do plan to work with my own dentist, who has been helping me throughout my journey, to get back into the community, do different seminars in schools, but also provide mobile dentistry in different community events. So that'll be my focus, is to just increase that access to care, but also help people recognize the importance of practicing better oral health care.
There you go. That's wonderful. Tiera, I like it. Traci?
Yes, ma'am. Real quick, Tiera, my mother started years ago, We Care Dental and Health Services, because she saw the disparity in the minorities and how the HMOs would put fillings, the mercury and stuff in our teeth, and would pull our teeth, in the lower income neighborhoods and will give them these silver caps in their teeth. All kids had these silver caps.
Yeah.
But then in the higher, income neighborhoods, they didn't do that. They kept their
That's
teeth. They
true.
had other types of fillings. So, and also with the newborn babies, it caused heart effects. So I sat through that for years with my mom, as she was a social worker in the hood, and would bring out the mobile dental. So I congratulate you on that advocacy. As far as me, I've been a registered nurse for 24 years. I started working in the cannabis industry with babies who had cancer, and patients who had different ailments and working in I was a certified cannabis nurse, and God allowed it, saw fit. I ended up getting locked up and spent 3 years in prison for cannabis. And that started my journey where God said, I don't have you here on punishment. I have you here on purpose. And he said he wanted me to see the injustice of the justice system. He wanted me to shift the mindsets of the women in there. And then when I got out, he wanted me redeveloping his underserved communities, which is how Pink Hats Construction and Development Group got started. So with that, my advocacy are not forgetting about those that are locked up, not forgetting about those women in there who a lot of them are innocent, a lot of them have a lot of talent, a lot of them just need some structure and guidance. And so now I cannot forget about those who are locked up. So my advocacy is to bring those out, provide training and luxurious transitional housing for women coming out of prison, providing an opportunity for them to learn the trades or nursing or whatever their career path may be, guiding them in that, teaching them financial currency and financial literacy, as well as when they get out, when they graduate our program, hopefully they'll be able to purchase one of the lots or homes that we've remodeled throughout the community. So it's all about, for me, it's all about, teaching them about assets and obtaining your own assets and becoming self-sufficient out here. Because, when you get out, recidivism is real. It's the system is planned for you to go right back in there. So if I can get them even before they come out, to give them a training platform and to give them a beautiful place to stay, because it's about your surroundings. And I've noticed that a lot of the transitional homes are in poor neighborhoods. They right next to the trap house. It doesn't help. So if we can change their surroundings, change their mindsets, and give them an opportunity to succeed, that's what it's about. So he allowed me to go into the bottom of the belly of the pit, into the well of the belly, honey. He allowed me to see that and experience it. And I don't regret it at all. I'm actually grateful for that opportunity, because as you can see, I came out not smelling like smoke. I was I was in there with the lions and the tigers and the bears. And I came out, lost everything and gained over 4 million in contracts, by following and being obedient to God. So my advocacy is making sure that they have a safe, beautiful space and can give them an opportunity to not only learn how to grow their own produce, but to be able to teach them how to be self-sufficient out here.
Okay. Listen, ladies, we're starting to wind down. Listen, for everyone out in Facebook land and Instagram. We was only supposed to be here for 30 minutes, and this conversation is so good, and we're going on an hour. So we're going to cut it off in an hour. But we still got a little couple of questions that I do want to ask you. And I'm enjoying this so much, you ladies. And I want to say this real quick. Traci, I think I have met you. I'm not for sure. Did you ever have a storefront on 79th near Cottage Grove?
No, those are my friends, the Rehab Divas.
Okay, that's because I put them on the cover of my magazine.
Yes, those are Rehab Divas. I just won the Neighborhood Opportunity Fund grant, and I will be renovating an office on 110th and Hosted, and that will be the corporate office for Pink Hats Construction.
Okay, congratulations! Look,
Thank you.
Is that what they do?
Yeah. I don't know. It's one of them, all of them, whatever.
Whatever, all of them, one of them. That young one over there, she know about it, don't she?
Yes.
Okay, so Let me ask you these few questions here. Let's try to keep it short, but give us a great answer for it if you don't mind. Miss Beyond Beautiful World, if you could change one thing about how society treats women over 21, what would it be? And how will you use your title to push for change?
I would love for society to acknowledge some of the abuse that women experience. If I could change that, because it's not just physical and mental, it's also systemic change needs to happen. We're in a space where we don't still earn as much as men. And if I could get society to look at women in a different way, that you understand that we're not trying to be a man. It's not about women's liberation and all of that. It's just like, consider that we're people too. So if I can get society to look at the abuse, again, just not physical and mental and emotional, but holistically that women experience, if I could use my platform to check that, I'd be sitting in the mayor's and my alderman's office having conversations so we can create bills and different things around that so that women have the same opportunity. We fight really hard to get those grants that you get, Traci.
Yeah.
We fight really hard. It's almost like we have to do double the work, and it's time out for it. You know, if I could get society to understand that, just, you know what, allow us to be who we are and don't judge us because we're female.
There you go.
So some of that abuse, if I could channel it, I would do that.
Okay, there you go. Traci, if you could plant one seed in the minds of those who watch you, what seed would that be?
Have faith over fear. Have faith over fear. Just a mustard seed of faith. You know, when I remember being locked up, and I would read the word and God would show me, do not be afraid of the fear is false expectation appearing real. So when you fear, I've learned that fear was a spirit, but when you have faith and say, Lord, I trust you. When you put trust over all of that, God shows up in a mighty, 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 mighty way. And so with that being said, that's my one seed. I would plant the seed of faith, honey, and watch it grow.
There you go. Miss Diamond, which is Miss Tiera down there with the lovely smile. I see you, girl. All right. When you think of a diamond level woman, what qualities come to mind and how do you see yourself?
I think of resilience, perseverance, triumph, and overcoming obstacles just to still shine your light. And for me, I definitely feel that I've embodied that, just with all that I've overcame, even, with, childhood trauma, the physical trauma, and still having a soft heart, having an open mind, having the compassion that I do have. I do believe that it's come to me through hard and tough and trying times. So that pressure, all that negativity at times, it really helped develop me and show me what it truly means to be a diamond.
There you go. So thank you very much. Ladies, this is for each of you. Give me a little short answer right here. What part of the pageant week? All right, because we need to get to some of the pageants so some people can know how it works. But what part of the pageant week actually stretch you the most, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually?
For me, the Phoenix Rising was a difficult space. I had a really hard time trying to put in words some of what I've experienced. I experienced pain 24/7. And some of it had to do with my levels of disobedience, called to God. And I had to do some soul searching and work on some things internally in order for God to reveal something different externally. And unfortunately, I still deal with pain. I have been misdiagnosed, misdosed, given meds that cause this or that. And so the Phoenix Rising was a very difficult space for me. I cried every time I had to try to deal with it.
Traci?
I think mine was the talent. I had just had surgery, so still recovering. but to be able to still minister and dance, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to, to make it and to be able to perform. But ended up, but so I think because I was in a little pain, and I know I over pushed myself, but I think that was the most challenging part. And not only that, but right before the date to check in, my dad had a stroke. My father had a stroke that night. We checked into the hotel, so just trying to be mentally present, as well as physically. But I can say that uh, all of my sisters, we all prayed. And one thing I loved about this is, even with Talika, who won Miss Congeniality, the women showed up for each other and encouraged each other and supported each other. We had, practices here at my house, or, we all were still, together, so, and supporting each other. So if I can say one thing was, definitely the talent where I had to minister.
How about you, Tiera?
Yeah, so it was definitely the Phoenix Rising for me. As I said, very introverted, very shy. So the thought of doing public speaking was very anxiety inducing. And it challenged me in a lot of ways, but I prayed so much prior to going on stage to have the anxiety removed and confidence instilled, and that is exactly what I got. So I'm again can't stress enough like the pride that I have about overcoming something that was very fearful, that just prompted a lot of fear, but I got through it and I did it, and I'm very pleased with how it came out.
Very good. Tiera, what's one misconception people have about pageants that your experience completely disproved?
Well, I do believe the physical appearance, some of the superficial things, the outfits, the clothes, those were only a small portion of the of our experience. I learned a lot about the effort that goes into doing a pageant, to prepare yourself mentally, spiritually, internally, to be able to allow yourself to be exposed. The sisterhood behind the scenes, what Traci was describing, the way that we came together to support each other, the tears, when we were all still experiencing life as we were going through this process. It opened my eyes to just how much work, personal growth happens in a pageant experience, and just digging deeper and discovering more about yourself, rather than just being beautiful or presenting yourself to the world in a curated way. We really have to be authentic.
Very good. How about you, Traci?
Can you repeat the question?
What's one misconception people have about pageants that your experience completely disproved?
Oh yeah, that is just about beauty. That is just a beauty pageant. When it's not, it goes. That's what I love about Beyond Beautiful, because it speaks for itself. It's beyond beautiful, because we're all beautiful, but it speaks beyond that. How do you represent yourself, off stage? How do you represent yourself with your family, with your community? And so the one misconception is just a beauty pageant. No, it's way more than just about being beautiful. It's about what's on the inside, and how do you triumph, over your obstacles? How do you, serve, serve your community? How do you uplift others, in the midst of their storms?
Yes, absolutely. Chondra.
I concur with my Queen sisters. Going into this pageant, I knew that it was different. The platform was different. The system, the pageant system itself was different. And I give a lot of kudos to Pam and Rhea, because throughout they constantly made us aware this is not a pageant. This is not just a pageant. This is not just about being pretty. It's not a fashion show. You are here, and it represents womanhood. And that's what I didn't, because I had never experienced. I served the pageant one year, but personally, I got to experience that this was really about womanhood, that it was far more than who you are externally and how beautiful you can make yourself up to be. Again, beauty, and you said this, is skin deep. It's internal. And that's what got pulled out of you in this pageant system. And I'm not sure that that's true for all of them. Some of them are just about how beautiful you are. Some of them don't even allow you past a certain age to participate in a space like this. When do you hear people in pageants 50 and over? You know what I mean? You can be 80 and get in this pageant and be able to share your story, your history, your love for life, and your ups and your downs, what you've been through, hopefully to encourage. And I think that this system does that. This pageant system encourages women, period, to know that it doesn't matter what you've experienced and what you've been through, you can come up out of it. Greater is coming. And I think that the support that we have, that we all showed one another, everybody come from different, backgrounds, different age groups. But when we got together in this system, it was just about women, the support and the love that we were able to show each other. I think that goes a long way.
That's it. That is totally it right there. Look, I know you all, I asked y'all some really tough questions, and you all did a wonderful, wonderful job. I want to thank you. So now we're going to get into some quick fire fun questions, because we're at the end of the show. All right. So as soon as one answer, then one go right into it. Okay. So you don't wait. We're going to start. It's always going to be Chondra, Traci, then Tiera. All right. So you got to be quick. Think real quick. You ready?
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Right. These are quick fire fun questions that we're going to ask. Heels or flats when no one is watching? No one is watching.
Heels 24/7.
Heels.
Heels.
Oh, wow. Really? All right. So when nobody's watching, it's flats for me. Okay. All right. One song that instantly puts you in the queen mood or mode.
Nobody greater.
Strength, courage, and wisdom.
Take Me As I Am.
Oh, Lord. Okay. All right. Survivor for me, Destiny Child. Okay. Because I am a survivor. All right. If you could have dinner with any woman, past or present, who would it be and why? Real quick.
It would be Maya Angelou, because the words that come out of her mouth, the wisdom, I really just suck it up.
Okay. All right. Traci jumped off real quick. Down, Diamond, Tiera.
Oh my gosh, Chandra, you took the words. I was gonna say Maya.
We can share.
You know what I'm saying? I was literally just talking about her books, her story, her life journey. Amazing. I have the collection of all her autobiographies. Amazing story. Very resilient.
Yeah.
Can you all hear me?
All these books over here.
Yep.
All right, Traci.
Yes, I'm sorry. My daughter was calling me. Mine would be Oprah Winfrey. I've always admired her. I've always wanted to be her when I was little. And yes, it would definitely be Oprah Winfrey.
Okay. First thing you did when you got home with the crown?
Put it back on my head, put my sash on, and I had on pajamas, and I was going like this. My husband was like, seriously? I was like, yes.
Yes.
My crown is being, I'm getting a new crown. My crown fell and a piece broke when I was on stage, when I was crowned. So my crown is being replaced. So, but I look at all of my trophies, like they're right here. My trophy, I got about 3, honey. I got waiting on them, honey. They all right here. I got about 4 trophies. So I look at these every single day.
Okay. Diamond.
I displayed mine like first coming to my home. So that's the first thing I see when I come home from work, and just a reminder of, what I accomplished.
Okay. And then this is what finish this sentence. Beyond beautiful means I am.
Beyond beautiful, internally and externally.
Okay. Traci.
I was going to say beyond beautiful.
Okay. And Tiera.
It means that I am an amazing soul.
All right, very, very good. Listen, ladies, I want to thank you very much for joining me. Let me do a closeout, and we're going to get out of here in just a moment.
Thank you for having us.
Yo, you are very welcome. Listen, whew, what a conversation. This was really, really good. It wasn't, again, we did not expect it for it to go this long, but these were some good answers, and y'all gave a great, great interview. So tonight on Jam with Alice, we got to sit down with these beautiful queens from Beyond Beautiful World Pageant and really dig into just crowns and gowns. And well, we didn't even talk about the gowns, but confidence. Definitely talk about the confidence, and they are wearing their crowns every day. You can just tell without the crown being shown. I show mine because they're not showing theirs. So
Yes.
yes, there we go. All right.
Alice, can I ask one question?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So how was it when you ran for your title? How was your experience, and what was one challenging area in your competition?
Okay, so everything was challenging for me because again, I'm an introvert, right? So it took a little bit for me to actually be that. I was asked, and I said I'm going to do it. I want to step outside of my box that I was in. I'm actually the first, so we're like the first one because I was the first Miss Sapphire. Didn't think I was going to win. Didn't win, and this is the truth. Didn't win not one award that night at all. And I was just still happy to be there. And when they called my name, I didn't believe that I was going to win. So I cried like a baby. It was amazing. The women were amazing. I was just happy to be around them. And I'm still, after 5 years, the Beyond Beautiful World has been going on now for 5 years. I'm still a part of, and obviously the organization sees something in me because I'm still there, right? I'm still helping out when I can. And and when I'm just happy. So it was wonderful. And I still have my crown, as you can see. Yes.
Yes. All right.
Okay. Yes.
And what's one word that you would one seed that you would plant in the lives of young women?
I would say if you think that you can't do it, you can. Don't ever think that you can't. Because I thought I couldn't. I didn't think I could do anything. The hardest part, you asked me what was the hardest part, was probably getting up and speaking in front of everybody doing the Phoenix Rising.
Mhm.
So, someone, and my story is not a secret. I tell everybody that I've been bullied ever since I was probably from grammar school all the way up to high school. Okay. So it was really, really hard for me in my life, that part of my life. So don't ever give up. All right.
Okay.
Find women that's like these women here who care, who actually want to help you, right? And mentor you, right? You can be as young as Diamond, Tiera. I keep calling her Diamond because she just looks like a little diamond over there. Like young as Tiera, or as old as myself because I'm a Sapphire, okay? In between, all right? So just never give up and know your worth and know your confidence. Right. This is all about confidence because the beauty is not what you see. Right, I fight myself every day about how I look, right? But it's not
you
about
assess your value. Nobody else does.
Right.
You put value on you. You don't allow other people to do that.
That part right there.
Yes.
You know what? Thank you very much. There we go. All right. See, look, we talked about the beauty, whether the confidence is a new standard, which we know is not a new standard. You just need to find it within yourself. The real life struggles to overcome, and how they use their titles to pour back into the community and other women and young girls, because they will be doing that this year. I'm confident that the organization is going to have you working. Okay. Yeah. I'm very confident of that. If there's one thing I can hope that you take away from tonight is being beyond beautiful starts from the inside. It doesn't start from the outside. All right. The outside is just the cream, but the inside is the gold. How about that? And how you see yourself, how you speak to yourself, and how you show up in the world so the world can see you. Thank you for my amazing guests. I have Miss Chondra Wright, Miss Beyond Beautiful World herself. I have Miss Traci Quinn, Miss Emerald of Beyond Beautiful World 2026. And I also have Tiera McGray, I said it correctly, Miss Diamond, Beyond Beautiful World 2026. I really thank you for watching and commenting. If you did come, I see some comments down there, but I really can't see it. So I'm gonna have to go back and look at it, and I will respond to the comments because I can't see it right. That's so little. And thank you, ladies, for sharing your voice. I do want to mention that I have next week, on the next week's show, I have how do I put this? It's okay. It's her husband's real husband. All right. He is a guest. He wrote a book. So he will be on my show next week, and we're going to be talking about his book. His name is Daniel Yarbrough, and he wrote a book called Misled. And I'm reading it now, so we're definitely going to be getting into that next week. And he will be my guest on at 7:30 p.m. at Tuesday. So I want you to definitely come in. And then I want to mention, all right, so this young lady won the talent competition in Beyond Beautiful World, and she was supposed to get a very, very small part. It's basically a couple of lines in the play, in my play. And my play it's so you'll be looking for it soon. The Last Sunday Sisterhood. There's about 4 women who are close friends over the years, and then every Sunday they have a brunch and they talk about their life, right? But one Sunday it breaks down and it's going to test their friendship. So this particular young lady was supposed to get a very small part. This small part, I promised that she can win a small part. Whoever the talent winner was going to be, she was going to get that small part. However, she sent me her demo or her tape, her audition tape, and she had no choice but to play a major part in the play, Miss Chondra Wright.
Thank you. Yes, I'm so excited.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
so
Let's talk
excited.
about it. So she wanted
Thank you
really.
for the
Now I have
opportunity.
to change everything. So you look out for the play next year. This is my first play that I have written, direct, and I will produce. Okay.
Oh wow! Congratulations!
So,
I was in a gospel play once. I went in to do I
Mhm.
just spoke up for a girl, and then ended up like Chandra, like doing the whole entire. I accidentally took her part, and I didn't mean to. I was just standing in.
I think you should have auditioned.
I didn't even audition. I just stood in. She was gone for that day, and I just read her part.
And they like, okay, you in it. And that's, I think, Chondra, that's Chondra, like, I'm like, okay, she sent me the thing. And what did I say, Chondra? I couldn't even see the video because I was on a cruise at the time. So because I didn't have good Wi-Fi, I couldn't see the video. All I heard was her reading what I sent her.
Mm-hmm.
When I got back, what did I say, Chondra? I said, I didn't even see it.
Congratulations.
You got it.
Oh,
you got it. That's
Yeah.
you got it. That's it right there. I got some other plays coming out as well, but this one is going to be next year. I want everyone to make sure that you come out and see it and support the play. I'm nervous on my own because it's the first time I will be directing and producing and doing my first play. Okay.
Hey.
So I think that's it. All right. So listen, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay connected with Jam with Alice, okay? For more, next week I will be giving away a prize. I didn't get a chance to do it this week, but we'll do it next week. Entertainment I love the real talk with the queens. And remember, you're not just beautiful, you are beyond beautiful. I'm Alice with Jam with Alice. I'm your host, and I will see you next week at 7:30 on Tuesday.
Tune in and turn that volume up high. Jam with Alice will reach for the sky.
Ladies, thank you.